Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second PHLY Eagles show of the day, presented by Bet365 and Ace Hardware Home Services. Download the Bet365 app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, and visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. We're here on Radio Row. Everybody's a little bit tired. Everybody's a little bit cranky. That's okay. I got Fran Duffy. I got Jamie Lynch. I got Zach Berman. And before we get to any of the shenanigans, now we're going to have Mina Kimes joining us in the show. We're going to have a nice interview with Joey Porter Jr. We'll see what else happens. But, Zach, injury report is out. Straight to the Stone Cold Newsman. What do we got?
Yeah, you forget sometimes there's a game, right? So the Eagles practiced today, and at practice, Jalen Carter was limited with an illness. Kenny Gainwell, limited concussion knee. Brandon Graham limited with the elbow injury. Devontae Smith limited with a hamstring injury. Of note here, Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens, both full participants in practice.
That's good stuff.
So no issue there. Also, A.J. Brown no longer on the injury on the report at all with the knee. So he would be considered fully recovered at this point. So the injury to the monitor, obviously, Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham sounded optimistic today when speaking to reporters that he's going to play. Nick Sirianni would not go there, but Brandon Graham's talking. Like
I caught up with him yesterday, and he was pretty much like, ready to go.
Jalen Carter with the illness. You imagine he'll recover in time by then. And so Devontae Smith,
just shooing away whatever he's dealing with.
Devontae Smith, the hamstring injury, will monitor that. I'm expecting Devontae to play, of course, but
I feel like that's not ideal, though. Yeah,
hamstrings are always
dealing
tricky.
with a hammer.
Yeah. Sure. But the good news is that nothing to be concerned about with Jurgens and Dickerson. They both said they'll play. I think Dickerson's quote to some reporters today is he would need to come off on a stretcher for him not to play this game. But it's one thing to be playing. It's another thing to be affected by the injury. And if you're a full participant in practice on a Wednesday before a game, that's usually a good sign.
Yep.
Is that normal superstition for you, Fran?
Knock on wood?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
You said you said the stretcher thing, and immediately Fran goes to the knock
Literally
on wood. Literally,
as soon as I hear anything like that, I just knock on wood.
And Cam Jurgens did put out some good vibes today. He sent us some beef jerky. So, And
how was it?
I actually haven't eaten it yet, but Fran dove
I
into
had the mango habanero. It was pretty strong.
Jerky.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit worried about how high your voice got there. Yeah,
well, no, you know what it is that I'm usually not a beef jerky guy.
Okay.
But I partook because he was nice enough to send some
that
over.
That is a staple of every Lynch road trip. A big old bag of jerky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Zach, you a jerky man?
I do not eat beef jerky, no. I eat beef, but not beef jerky.
Right. Yeah,
and
that's how I usually
it sounds like there's a reason behind that.
Yeah, what's up?
I just never was like the Slim Jims growing up.
Right.
Well, Slim Jims are gross because they have a little bit of a snap.
That's why I was never a Slim Jim guy.
That was
jerky and Slim Jims are different things.
I've just never had it.
I'm shot. Bo, can you please balance the universe
I
here?
like a jerky. I am not. It's not a go-to for me.
Okay.
But every now and then I get myself in a road trip on a jerky.
Yeah. Throw a little lipper in a jerky. It's good stuff.
I mean, I like it. It's a good chew.
Yeah.
You're looking for a nice. But I'm much more of a sunflower seeds man on a road trip.
Okay.
That's high potential for messiness.
Well, either you spit it out the window, or you get yourself a cup.
Okay.
And you put it in the cup. Because it's a
the
real
old
good. You're
baseball
passing
bow
the time.
there.
Yeah. I mean, this is I feel like I could just hop right on the mound.
I hate to defend Zach 24 hours after what happened last night.
Why do you hate to defend it?
after 24 hours.
We don't all have to pick on me.
23 hours ago, we're going to try and move past it. If Zach had said that he spits out sunflower seeds out the window on a road trip, you would have let him have it, I feel like.
Interesting. Why?
Because I feel like that's a very easy thing to attack and say, like, well, you got people, in the cars next to you. You got passersby. You're
I'm
just
not spitting it at people.
Well,
I feel like more like you can miss and it falls back in the car.
If
it's not really a highway activity.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it. You can also drop it out the window.
It's a lot of work, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you got a long drive. Hopefully, the kids are sleeping in the back. You gotta stay awake.
Poor
gotta
Jane's
keep
sleeping in
something.
the back, and there's just shells hitting her in the face.
Yeah, maybe that'll happen. Who knows? How's everybody doing? It's been a wild day. I want to hear from you, Jamie, because you've been our bulldog here on Radio Row. Who are we?
Stephen A.
Smith.
He just
Stephen
waved
A.
to us.
Smith.
Yeah, former colleague.
I hope we didn't listen to Tabot a couple days ago.
I hope. Yeah, I mean, I hope he wasn't listening to the conversation about the maintenance man from the other day.
No, Stephen and I.
ZB got the wave.
Yeah, Stephen and I used to work together at the Inquirer.
Yeah,
I was an intern up at Lehigh, and I was fetching quotes for Stephen A.
Who's got a better jumper, you or Stephen A?
Well, he played college basketball. He played at Winston-Salem State, right?
Yeah.
He played for Clarence Big House Gaines.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good knowledge by you.
Clarence Big House Gaines is a legendary coach. I once did a a radio essay on Clarence Big House Gaines' effect on basketball.
A radio essay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was
How'd you tease that bad boy?
that was we
Big
had,
house.
No, we
Well,
had
like your mama's house.
No, we had like a Saturday night show where it was
I
kind
don't know
of
what that means.
it was kind of like I wanted to do like a parting shot on Sports Reporter, so I would do like that type of thing each week, and I would find a story in sports that I thought deserved more attention. And Clarence Big House Gaines, I wanted to recognize him. So
Zachary Berman, BigHouseGains.com.
that was WAER.
Ooh, WAER.
I remember the express sales link. I mean, I don't want to give someone else the advertising.
I feel
express
like
sales, beep, beep,
none of us are going to be able
overtime.
to like fully string two sentences together in a row on this episode.
It's been a long day.
Speak for yourself. I got a lot to talk about. I'm excited.
Well, you were
I'm
all
not
over the
saying
place.
you don't have a lot
today.
to talk about. I'm
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a wipedness. Jamie, take the viewers through like what today has been like, because we get here early in the morning. There's the ebb and flow of the day. It gets crazy. You got us. You secured the Mina Kimes interview that's going to be coming up a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, Mina's awesome. I wanted to get her on. So,
but like, tell us what it feels to be in the mess, in the arena, if you will.
if you ever want to like feel really horrible about yourself, just go get denied and act like you're trying to get like a big name star, and like, they walk right past you and their handlers like kind of stiff arm you.
If you really want to feel like a nobody.
Yeah, if you really want to like feel
Come to Radio
bad
Row.
about yourself.
There's other ways you can feel horrible about yourself.
Sure.
You could be both co-hosts.
That was good. That was good.
That was good.
I knew where it was going the whole time. I see it in his eyes. I know it's coming.
So yeah, a lot of trying for some.
We don't
guests
tell
in the
you
morning.
enough how good you are.
Let's keep going.
I think he agreed with that.
A lot of denials and trying to get some guests, getting some good guests. We have some great videos on demand going up on the channel. It was awesome seeing Vinny work the room. It was a good long grinded out kind of day, and hopefully everybody's enjoying the great.
Today is a
content.
big football players day. This is when like all the football players with certain things to pitch come through.
So let's see.
Tomorrow will be a little bit more. There will be more celebrities here tomorrow.
Okay. Some of the greats we saw today: Sean Alexander, Marshall Faulk, Debo Samuel was here, Myles Garrett was here. A whole slew of great players.
We talk a little Myles Garrett with Mina in that interview. Maybe a little Philadelphia Eagle. Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I tried to. I got denied by his handlers. That was sweet. I was just trying to get him.
And honestly, Vinny got denied too, and Vinny was pissed. He was like, he could not believe the way that this woman talked to him.
You were witness to it, was it?
It was just, she was so dismissive of him, and like Myles Garrett wasn't there. He was doing another interview, so he couldn't see Vinny. Like, this woman has no idea that like Vinny is another defensive end. Like, I think if Myles Garrett had seen Vinny, there might have been a thing. We're asking for like 90 seconds of their time for a little stand up. And Vinny, I think this was the first time all week that Vinny was like,
What the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah. I'm like, well, yeah, you want to feel bad about yourself, go get shot down by a handler.
We're watching a lot of Planet Earth in the Duffy household. Francis is very into
nice.
like watching the animal documentaries. And the
we
bears.
need David Attenborough, like play-by-play.
Well, it's like the big carnivores, like the big bears and the big cats. Like they only succeed on like 10% of their hunts. It's the same kind of thing. You're going to get shut down. You're going to miss 9 out of 10 shots.
Yeah.
Here's a Vinny Curry.
But
Vinny Curry is a big fish in a small pond.
I did.
But once he gets to a bigger pond, he learns a new lesson.
You're right. Your Attenborough needs a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I did stalk the Myles Garrett interview that was happening on the Zach Gelb show down there, and he was asked about Philadelphia and the trade market and how hard it is to move on from your hometown. And I believe his direct words were that would be a great destination, but I don't want to kind of corner myself into a one-team type of market. Lots of places to go. He did mention winning, yada, yada, yada. But
so
Philadelphia did come up.
So he was on Zach's show?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm supposed to be on Zach's show this week. Too bad the listeners go from Myles Garrett to me.
Don't sell yourself short, Zach.
Why are you so mean to yourself?
It just comes with the territory, I suppose. Let's keep rolling.
How about your day, Fran?
How about the
you're
Wi-Fi,
a man,
Fran?
You're a man who likes, Fran, you feel like a Berman. You're a man who likes to be productive. You're a little bit disappointed about your level of productivity.
I don't like the hurry up and wait aspect of days like today. I don't like the feeling of not being productive. And so, I'd much rather be like holed up in the dark, writing.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't get all the
watching
compliments on being tan Duffy this week.
Yeah, I could care less about that. I'd much rather be getting a lot of work done. And so, today I'm not in the best mood as we sit here today.
It's only Wednesday, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It feels like Friday. Well, at least you have a great Wi-Fi network here, Fran.
Oh my
right.
God!
Yeah.
Like the only thing that people care about in this room is let's have good Wi-Fi, workable Wi-Fi. I couldn't even load our ads during the 1 o'clock show, 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
But our viewers don't care about that. They want to hear about that.
No, they don't care about that.
No one cares about the flight of the
They care
reporter.
about whether we're wearing
there are
pants,
worse
and the
things.
answer is no. We are not wearing pants. Oh, Mike G.
Yeah.
Get your boy over here. Let's get some Scoopy.
Yeah, Mike's the man. I could get him on this week, but he.
Who cares about this week? Let's get him right now.
Come on right now.
Well,
Let's
he's
get a
just
Zach
doing
Berman
anything,
pound the table.
You want me to call him over?
Yeah.
I could text him.
Talk a
There
little
you go.
Kevin
Come on.
Patullo.
Love
You
it.
talked to Patullo today. You've
I
got
did.
some insight on Patullo. I think we could get Mike G over here. Let's have a little Patullo sesh.
All right, I'm texting him now.
There
Okay.
we go.
Why don't you? Well,
What table's this?
152-ish in front of McAfee. What do you guys think of the way that the McAfee show made us look like
Zach got a big shout-out, and Les got called Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm actually
That was-
complimented that I got compared to Field Yates.
Field Yates?
I'll take Field any day. Like that's a good one. First off, Fields is a respected football guy. He's on national television. I mean, like I feel bad for Fields, but I will gladly take that.
That was the closest I've ever heard Zach referring to the looks of another man.
Oh.
Well, I mean, look, no,
interesting.
he's on TV. They're not putting Field on TV unless they feel he's presentable. So
presentable.
Presentable,
Is a
yeah.
very,
Way to couch it back.
yeah, that's very funny. What did you what did you learn from Kevin Patullo talking to him today, Zach?
yeah, I'm just firing off this text. So
Obviously,
I
the
learned so
context
much.
here being we
Yeah.
all expect that
I learned.
he is the likely replacement for Kellen
Sure.
Moore.
I learned a ton about Kevin Patullo. I've spoken to Kevin Patullo on a handful of occasions, but certainly not to the extent that of like specifically how would you function as an offensive coordinator. And it was unspoken, but I imagine Kellen. I'm sorry, I was a Freudian slip there. I imagine Kevin understood the context of why I was asking these questions. He explained how he does have ambitions to be an offensive coordinator. He spoke about how he's had opportunities in the past and they haven't worked out, or it wasn't the right time. But he's confident about what's ahead, or he's excited about what's ahead. I asked him specifically about this charge, or that we've discussed, that he'd just be an extension of Nick Sirianni, and he said that's unfair. And he had a long answer, and I'll have this in a story. I'll probably have the story ready for when he's announced that we can drop then as opposed to during Super Bowl week.
Nice.
But he –
a little preppy prep.
Yeah, working ahead there. He said that they actually disagree a lot. And he said if you're in that room, you would know that they disagree a lot. And he says that's part of why the relationship works. A matter of fact, one thing Nick Sirianni's told me in the past is that
this was a good framing from the Nussmeier story.
Yeah, Patullo's there to call him out on his BS.
Right.
Or,
when he's being an a-hole.
Exactly.
That's his job to tell him that. Yeah.
And he talked about like how close he is with Nick and how they have that relationship. But you know what's interesting too is I didn't necessarily connect these dots until Kevin was telling me. This is something Fran can probably speak to better than me, but how connected he is to the staff in that he worked with Jason Michael in Tennessee
yep.
and in Indianapolis. Okay, he worked with Aaron Moorhead with Texas A&M, and Aaron Moorhead was his intern with the Colts.
Yep.
Was his coaching intern with the Colts. He's obviously so he has background with all these different coaches on the staff. He's a key part of the staff. He explained, and look, you can disagree with this description, but his duties are like half head coach, half offensive coordinator. Okay, like because he helps out Nick with a lot of the head coaching responsibilities. He's Nick's right-hand man, and he helps out Kellen with a lot of the offensive coordinator responsibilities. And he was charged with blending these two systems together. So
go ahead.
Yeah, so that's kind of I came away from multiple conversations today thinking that Kevin Patullo is going to be the next OC for the Eagles, and I'll reserve judgment for how he would be.
Do you prefer for the half and half head coordinator or offensive coach?
Head coordinator.
Okay. That would be the title you would want.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on KP.
I was about to say, yeah. No, I'm glad I didn't finish it. I was going to say anything with, but then I was like,
anything with head in it is good by my book. Is essentially that was the sentence that you.
Well, I was starting to go down that path, and then I thought before I spoke,
right.
Which is a valuable thing on the show.
You meant to say dome.
Julia is broken.
There was a lot of dome talk the other day with Lori.
Yes. Yeah.
I
think Jeffrey probably likes it too.
Yeah.
I think the big thing with Kevin Patullo, and this is with any when you see a coach that gets promoted from one role to the next, because I think that I get that there's a lot of like angst there with the fan base in terms of the inconsistencies we've seen with the pass game over the course of not just this season but over the years, right? And I think when you look at and we've talked about how when offensive coordinators get promoted to head coach, that just because you were a good offensive coordinator doesn't mean that you'd be a good head coach. Some people are better head coaches than they are coordinators, and the same thing goes for position coach going to coordinator. All of these jobs have different responsibilities, and so I would say, much like what Zach said, I would reserve judgment. If you're a fan and you're like worried about what that promotion would look like, being an offensive coordinator, being in charge of calling plays, like that is a different role than what Kevin has been asked to do, in recent years since he's been here in Philadelphia. What I could say just from like personal experience in my previous role, working with the team and doing those film breakdowns that I used to do on a weekly basis, I always enjoyed my the breakdowns that I did with Kevin Patullo. I always thought that he came off excellent in those, and he's very, very clear communicator. He's very articulate in terms of what he's looking for from all these guys at these different positions in the pass game, very detail-oriented. And this is like not compared to like the lay person, but compared to other coaches that I've dealt with in the past across various staffs. And so for me, I'd be excited to see him in that role, and I'd be excited to see what he would bring to the table. And he's learned from a lot of different offensive coaches. He hasn't just been with Nick Sirianni in the past. And so I think being able to pull some of those ideas that he's used in previous stops, I think it would be interesting to see. And
to the communicating standpoint and stuff like that, you do hear good things about him from the players that you talk to. I mean, even doing the story on his daughter a couple years ago.
Great piece.
That was great. All those guys talked about just like the connection with Lauren, but that comes back to because they like Kevin a lot. If you are being the skeptic on it, you do want to know that I think there's an importance between there is separation between him and Sirianni just because you have seen what happened this year. Yeah. They wanted to take those reins away from Sirianni, and the flip side to that is, as I think about it, what might be good about it is that Nick's relationship with Kevin would be good enough, you would think, that he would be willing to let him do it. You know what I mean? He would not feel like he needed to meddle because he has trust in the guy.
Yeah, Nick and Kevin go back actually to when Nick came in to the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right, yep.
He took over for Kevin Patullo and the quality control coach role. And actually Chan Gailey who was the coach at the time, or the OC at the time rather, had Nick call Patullo or Patullo call Nick to kind of discuss all that goes into it. There's Malik Jackson, former Eagle.
Malik Jackson, former Eagle.
Yeah.
There he goes.
I remember he wore a very cool varsity jacket.
I remember that.
He showed
Yes.
up, as a signing for the Eagles. The question in the chat is a relevant one, and that is, if Kevin Patullo is so great, why wasn't he hired to replace Shane Steichen 2 years ago? Yeah,
so the answer here is Brian Johnson was next in line, if I'm being honest with you.
Okay.
Brian Johnson was going to be an OC, whether it was in Philly or somewhere else. He had other OC. There were other teams interested in Brian Johnson. He was the quarterback's coach. He was thought of as like a future coaching star by the front office.
The
at the
relationship
time.
with Jalen, too.
Yeah, so I think it was more – I don't think that was necessarily Nick was like pounding the table for Brian Johnson. I think it was more Brian Johnson was considered next in line.
I hate to say this. I don't even want to say it.
Well.
But I have heard from other people in the league who believe that Howie is very covetous of those compensatory picks for when you lose a minority candidate. And so people thought that if the offensive coordinator gets a head coaching job and it's Brian Johnson, the Eagles are going to get a third-round pick. I don't believe that is the case, but that is a thing that people in the league had said. I think that's pretty unfair, frankly.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to say it, but that is the thing that I had heard.
I think it was.
I think people think of Howie as that desperate for every single resource he can get that it's a thing that they have thought about.
Yeah, I mean, it was framed to me that like if Brian Johnson wasn't the OC in Philly, it would have been in Carolina or
Baltimore,
right?
Yeah,
or something. So that's.
And exactly. And so the way to keep both guys in the building is to give that to make Brian Johnson the offensive coordinator, keep Kevin Patullo. If you make Kevin Patullo the offensive coordinator, you lose Brian Johnson.
Yep.
Right, which I think is probably what was actually the case.
Right.
Super chat from Chase Daniel Plainview, who says, "Sounds like Patullo has the skills to pay the bills, but does he have the abilities to pay the utilities?"
What does that mean? I'll defer to that's a Bo question. What does that mean?
I think it means we're all have no idea what we're talking about right now.
But thank you for your $4.99 contribution.
Corey got a good question for you, though. Bo, please say Kevin Patullo like Jason Derulo.
I think you just did it.
I think he wants you to do it.
I don't know. I don't know the Jason Derulo thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know he fell downstairs and busted his teeth once. That's about my Jason
The
Derulo.
only popular music I'm listening to these days is Chappell Roan.
Then she just won some Grammys, right?
Yeah, Pink Pony Club, big in our house.
Oh,
we listen to it every single time we get in the car. And I'm so Pink Pony Club pilled that I was listening to it on my walk here today.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's in
fantastic.
deep. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and then we'll hear from Mina Kimes. We start with Bet365, and it's never ordinary in Bet365. They've got 90 million users worldwide. They've got 780,000 events each year. Early payout offers across the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. They pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And let me tell you about our friends over at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. They are based and headquartered right there in Fort Washington, and they have 24 area locations all across the Delaware Valley. And perhaps the holidays ran up a big bill in your household. And what's the best way to do that? Well, I would recommend transferring to a zero-interest credit card with TrueMark Financial to help pay it off faster. Because right now, TrueMark Financial is offering zero interest on balance transfers for 12 months. So all your payments go towards reducing your balance, not just covering the interest. So here's the play. Transfer your existing balance from another institution to a TrueMark Financial Visa credit card and take advantage of the amazing offer. But you just have until February 28th. So you got to act in the next 3 weeks or so. So whether you're interested in earning rewards, cash back, or simply prefer that lower rate for everyday purchases, TrueMark Financial can choose the credit card that best fits your financial needs. Visit TrueMark.com/compare for full details and to apply today. TrueMark Financial, federally insured by the NCUA, equal opportunity lender. Terms and conditions apply. All loans subject to approval. 3% balance transfer fee applies. Standard rate applies after the promotional rate.
I was checking out the lines on Bet365.
Ooh.
I'm gonna run through these guys.
I think there was a little movement, wasn't there?
The Eagles moved from 1.5 underdogs to 1 point underdogs.
Now, last I saw, I think about 63% of the public money thus far was actually backing the Eagles.
Oh, I thought that I saw that it was heavy on the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll have to dive into that, but yeah.
All right, I got the these are play. So passing yards, rushing yards,
Love
receiving yards. So let's get your instant thoughts.
I love
here.
this game.
Yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. Patrick
That's not
Mahomes,
right, Zach. That's not right.
251.5 passing yards.
Under.
My gut also says under, and I feel like that's a stupid thing to say, but yeah, I'm going to go under.
I mean, if it's under, like it's Eagles win. Like
Actually, yeah. I might
If it's-
switch over.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
looking
know.
to see how often he has hit
This is
that
going to be
over.
very difficult for Zach because Zach has a deep respect for the lines
That's
as
true.
they are
As
placed.
he should,
That, like,
yeah.
they are going to be precisely correct, and so it's going to be very difficult for you to.
Those people
Yes.
are very
Yeah.
good at their jobs.
Exactly.
All right, so it's what was it?
251.5.
I mean, he's hit it like 50% of the time over the last 8 weeks.
That's why they're so good at their line.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to always say they didn't build those casinos because people won, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to take the over or the under. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the under.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
Jalen
gonna go
Hurts, 212.5.
over.
under.
Under.
Ooh, I would lean over on this one.
Devontae's going for 100 plus, so I mean,
All right,
that's,
let's
that's
talk.
halfway there.
Let's talk receiving yards. Travis Kelce, 61.5.
Over.
Over.
He had like 2 for 13 last week. He had the huge game in the divisional round. Under.
My favorite story of the week, last week, and this is no knock on any of our colleagues. I get it's like a cool thing. It was actually the day we weren't at practice when we were doing the show, but Brent Selleck practicing as the tight end. They're like, the Eagles are preparing for Travis Kelce with Brent Selleck. I'm like. They got covered this thing. Reed Blankenship really struggled. So they pull Brent Selleck out, and Brent Selleck's running around, so they're taking Travis Kelce seriously here. And I just remember seeing that, and I'm like, Brent's awesome. Brent is my first feature at The Athletic was on Brent's real estate
How
career.
long's he been out of the league now?
But Brent's always I've always enjoyed talking to Brent, but I think Brent would tell you he's not mimicking Travis Kelce in practice. I just don't think they at the time they didn't have Nick Muse. Actually, they signed Nick Muse before, so they didn't really have a practice squad tight end, right?
That's why Albert O was there. He was waiting in the wings for this moment.
So but it's like the Eagles know they have Travis Kelce, so they brought Brent Selleck to practice.
It's very funny.
That's very funny. Xavier Worthy, 52.5.
I'm going to go under on that one.
Under as well.
Yeah, I'll go slightly under, but he has a chance to pull off a big one.
Yeah, well, that's the big play there. Worries me.
Saquon Barkley, receiving yards,
Oh.
13.5.
This is one of your favorite. I feel like you went for this a few times during the season.
I
in game
usually
days.
have been
The
going
long
with longest rush.
That was
I think there's only one time, but I actually do feel with 2 weeks to prepare,
Okay.
I think they're going to
spicy.
have 2 plays cooked up for Saquon Barkley as a receiver.
Oh.
They're going to go crazy And, if one of them connects.
You said it was 13.5?
13.5. I like the over here.
Did you check?
It takes one.
One play, right?
Did you track it throughout the year? I feel like this is probably on the higher side.
Yeah, he has not done much as a receiver.
Yeah.
There have been
I think this is
3
under.
games. But it could be a dump off that he takes 16 yards.
Yeah, I'm going with Bo here. I'm going with the over. Look, you think back. I remember saying after week 1, this season is about Brazil to Bourbon Street, right?
Yeah.
Or Brazil to the Bayou, if you want.
Bayou.
Okay. So let's just go Bourbon Street, okay? Brazil to Bourbon Street, okay?
Labor Day?
Yes.
President's Day.
Brazil to Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street.
I said then.
Bourbon.
I remember saying it that week when he had that great touchdown catch in the corner of the end zone against the Packers. And you start the season with that, and you end the season with that. What about that symmetry?
I like that symmetry.
A.J. Brown, 70.5.
Over.
Over.
Dallas Goedert, 49.5.
Under.
Under the boardwalk. We'll be placing some bets under the boardwalk.
Under.
Quick question for
my first kiss was
for
under
you
a
guys.
boardwalk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah.
How old?
I think it was the summer of 7th grade into 8th grade.
Okay, now was this like
Hold on.
Just
With your first, what was the
Real kiss.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
like real kiss?
Yeah.
A little tongue.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Now was this like a
Real
a pre-planned meetup, or was this like
It was
you
a
eyed
walk
each other
through.
on the boardwalk and it came to pass?
It was a walk through town that led to the boardwalk, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how long? Like, what was the lead-in? How long? How long were you working this angle before?
A couple days.
Okay.
All right. You put in your work.
Classmates or like you met at the shore?
Summer shore meetup.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Summer 11.
yeah.
Happened so fast.
96th
Yeah.
Street in Stone Harbor to the little mini boardwalk
Nice.
that they had in town. Yeah.
How high is I don't know
It's
Stone
just
Harbor
a
well.
little-
How
it's a
high is
little
the
guy.
boardwalk there?
It's just like a little mini guy.
Good question. He's like, they're like hunched down. Here we go. Let's get to it.
Why does seventh grade Jamie sound like that?
Because you gotta hunch down. You turn into a hobbit.
This poor girl. It sounds terrible.
I mean, the hormones made,
Like a troll. You
made
turn
me
into
a
a
troll.
troll,
Yeah.
yeah.
The horniness probably made me a troll.
Let's go around the horn here. Zach, first kiss?
Oh yeah,
I'm
let's
not
get
kissing.
into this.
I don't want to do this.
We don't have to say the person's name.
just
Where was it?
Where was it?
It was 6th grade.
Oh.
Okay.
Like first, like real kiss. Yeah, 6th grade. And I don't want to say where.
You won't say where?
No.
Why?
What?
Why?
I'd rather not get into that, honestly.
What is the location? Why is that a big deal?
But I'm really trying to just act with the.
Is it a
discretion.
friend's house? Is it one of your brother's rooms? I'm trying to think
No,
of why this would be.
I brought a girl to my brother's
I'm trying to
room.
figure out why it is that you
How
would want to
creepy
hide
is
this.
Hong Kong.
It was at like
A dance?
there was dancing there, but it wasn't like a dance.
A freak
Julia
off?
has no idea what you're talking about. Like, there was dancing there, but it wasn't a dance. This is a good riddle. That maybe the troll who went under the boardwalk is asking you to solve. In order to have access to under the boardwalk, solve this riddle 1.
I'd rather. Let's just move on. Pass.
There was dancing there, but it wasn't a dance.
I want to be like Vic Fangio in the thing that they, the thing
Play
that
it
they
right.
just pass when you know
It's
what
like
it's
throw the cards.
Pass. But yeah.
Fran?
We're not doing this.
We're not doing it? Why is this so?
Yeah.
This is water under the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
We're not going to say an age. You're not going to say a location.
7th grade.
7th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
Bo?
7th grade
Okay.
as well. Movie.
Oh,
Which
what
movie?
movie?
What was the movie? Yeah.
Titanic.
Oh.
Wow.
That's a long one, so you had ample
Was it?
opportunity.
All right.
What point in the
Before-
movie?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Before or after Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
Was the theater
I've told this story
crowded?
before, though. That was more of like a like everybody was. We were both nervous. You did it once, and that was like it wasn't. There wasn't much more than that.
Okay.
The bigger one, as I've said, was the other sister, which really got everybody going.
What's that?
What?
Yo, excuse me?
I'm not familiar with what you're asking.
What happened?
I've told this story before. It's deeply embarrassing, but yeah, that was the first real makeout movie.
Oh, the movie's The Other Sister. Okay.
Oh no, it wasn't the first one's sister. Oh, the movie. No, the movie, The Other Sister.
I kissed her.
That gets the confusion. Yeah.
But then the other sister.
But that is also it's not a great.
So you're just passing you around the family.
Yeah.
We have a $5 super chat from Grace Min. It says, if you keep grilling Zach, I will keep super chatting.
All right, Zach, you're a company man.
you
You
are
got to
a
give us a
company man.
location. It's a dance, but there was dancing, but it wasn't a dance.
Sounds a basement
It's like
party?
a house party,
No.
a festival,
No.
a family reunion.
What? No. No.
You know, Grace is a loyal listener.
Grace, I appreciate. I don't know why. It was at a. I can't. It was at a bar mitzvah. Okay, it was at a bar mitzvah.
Okay. Well, there's definitely dancing
yeah,
there.
that's
Okay,
like a
yeah.
very normal
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Julia, how about you?
Oh, she's got to think.
She's thinking. She's staring off wistfully.
It was spin the bottle.
Oh,
Spin the bottle.
Spin the bottle.
Oh, just like a movie.
I think it was.
Oh, fifth
Fifth
Julia,
grade.
beat us all.
Wow. How advanced.
The winner.
Oh well, if spin the bottle counts, that wasn't. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spin the
Yeah,
bottle
of course
counts.
it counts.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like a full makeout. That
Was there tongue?
Well, you don't know how Julia played.
I actually think I was.
Grace. Grace has a super chat that says, I was kidding, make it end.
I'm with you, Grace. I'm with Grace on that.
All right.
Wait, I did have a question for you guys though. Before that, deviation we didn't do. This started with Dallas Goedert. Okay.
Did it? Yes. Oh, yeah, we're playing unders.
Yeah. Dallas Goedert.
Oh, God.
Okay. Is this his last game with the Eagles? Yes or no?
Oh.
Ooh. What's his contract situation?
It's well
Is there,
get out of it.
is there an out after
Yeah,
this year?
yeah. There's an out.
No.
Fran?
No.
Bo?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. agree.
I'm very close to saying yes, but
I agree. By the way, as just for I think I might be jumping the gun a bit on Patullo. I'm not sure Patullo is going to be the OC. We'll kind of see what happens.
What are you? You're all of a sudden backtracking?
No. I'm not.
Well,
wanna
what
talk about
changed?
certain
What
days?
changed in the last 38 minutes?
He shared a lot of information since that point.
There might be people watching this show. I'll put it that way. You know how Fran said it, or how how Vinny said people watch our show.
Not a done deal.
There might be people watching the show. I'll put it that way.
they enjoyed the spin the bottle conversation.
Yeah.
They probably heard-
They're no longer watching the show.
They're like, "Where's Vinny?"
Let's finish this game. Devontae Smith, 50.5.
I was glad that we're getting back to this game.
Oh,
Okay.
easy over. Give me big money on that one.
On what? What was it?
Devontae, 50.5.
It worries me it's that low.
Yeah.
But
He's
over.
got this bulky hammy.
That's true. Over. I don't care.
I feel pretty good about over here, too.
Yeah, over.
That's why I actually feel pretty good about Jalen over.
I know. That's
So do I.
But- You don't have a feeling on this one, Zach?
Over.
Okay. All right. Rushing yards now. And then we'll close, and then we'll get to Mina. Saquon Barkley. What do you think the number is here?
Ooh. So last game, I believe off the top of my head, it was 112.5 in the NFC Championship.
I mean, bingo, bango, bongo. You just hit it exactly.
Okay.
112.5.
Yeah.
Jamie with the
Well,
dead on, right between the eyes.
Some call me a degenerate.
What do you think? It's 112.5.
Over.
Over. Yeah.
I can't bet an under with him.
We're betting.
Wow.
Everybody's
Yes.
feeling good about the Eagles' offense.
Slightly under.
Okay. Jalen Hurts, 37.5.
Rushing?
Yes.
Ooh.
Under.
I
Over.
under.
Okay. I kind of lean over, too. This is fun. Dallas Goedert, half a yard. after what we saw last week or 2 weeks ago.
Under.
Under.
What about passing yards?
Nothing. Yeah. Mahomes 31.5.
Under.
He has been such a back-breaking scrambler in like high leverage moments in playoff games. Obviously, remember the big one in the Super Bowl in 22. I might take the over there.
Okay.
Over.
Super chat from Idiot Sandwich who says employees ZB empowers on Super Bowl Sunday. I don't get it. Under how many employees you empower on Super Bowl Sunday.
I mean,
I see. I get it now.
I'm just going to say this here. I love being a reporter. Okay, I'm very proud of it. I got to admit that reporters are not like the most polite people sometimes.
Sure.
So
yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So
it's important to go out of your way to.
I will go.
Not all reporters. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will go out of my way. These people working security and like they're doing the transcription stuff.
There are people cleaning up, picking up our trash.
Yeah. The least I can do is like be nice to them for this.
Yeah.
So,
totally.
Yeah. What's the line?
2.5.
That's
over.
Clear
Way
over.
over.
Yeah, clear over.
Way over.
Over 2.5.
That's going to be walking in. It's going to be over.
I mean,
Yes.
It's like 23.5.
Yeah.
And then the last one. This is not. I don't have an opinion on these ones, but I think it's notable that they are so low. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Kareem Hunt 41.5. Pacheco 23.5.
Yeah, Pacheco has been basically a non-factor for them in the last few games. Kareem Hunt has been the running back to worry about for them in the postseason, but even then, I mean, it was Mahomes that led them in rushing against Buffalo. I'll take the under on Pacheco. I might take the under on Hunt too.
I would probably lean over on Hunt, under on Pacheco.
Yeah, I think there is a path in this game, which we've talked about, where like the Chiefs basically don't run the ball after the first quarter.
Yeah,
like they just completely abandon the run. All right. One more super chat from Madio who says, Zach.
I appreciate that, Madio.
Let's do one more break, and then after that, we will finally hear from Mina Kimes. Ace Hardware Home Services. You know why they call it Ace? Because it's the best. Ace is the best card. And Ace Hardware Home Services is the best place to go if you need help with your home. Ace Hardware Home Services, with the power of the Ace brand, strives to be the best, most trusted provider of home preservation services. They've got a wide range of residential maintenance, installation, and home repair services are available, including plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. Emergency services available for when you need us most. Free estimates on equipment installation and replacement, with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. Service you can trust and satisfaction guaranteed. We make it right no matter what. We are local. Our teams live and serve in your community and are dedicated to keeping their neighbors comfortable in their home. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
The official media day outfit for some of these players is wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Right? And
I thought you were going to talk about the sweatsuits, which great point by DFOP Daniel Gallen. They look like faces. The tops.
Oh, with the
two things here and then the thing across the bottom, it looks like a face. The number changes it a little bit, but you still see the face.
Good point. But anyways,
you got to accessorize the drip with that.
Yeah, so I hope the sunglasses they were wearing are from Shady Rays because it might be cold here in Philly. Well, it's not cold here in New Orleans, but it's never too early or too dark at the Super Bowl. They'll be thinking about your sunglasses. Our friends at Shady Rays are helping you get in the right frame of mind as you see Bo putting on his Shady Rays.
These are my Shady Rays. I love these Shady Rays.
With their premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company offering a world-class product and rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. There's so many colors available that you'll find a pair that's perfect for you. Maybe you want midnight green ones for this weekend's game. You can get that on Shady Rays. Shady Rays will come in handy if you're planning a trip to New Orleans for a certain football game in a football in a few days. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. The team always has your back with personal and fast support. PHLY viewers and listeners, go to ShadyRays.com and save 35% off polarized sunglasses with code PHLY. Over 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars, so use code PHLY today at ShadyRays.com.
All right. You see my beautiful Shady Rays here. Happy to have them on. And happy now to throw to a quick but insightful conversation with ESPN's Mina Kimes. All right, back on Radio Row, we are very happy to be joined by Mina Kimes of ESPN, who is a bit of an Eagles family.
I am I have Eagles allegiances through my in-laws who are like hardcore WIP listener Eagles
We got to get them
fans.
to listen to PHLY, but
I'll
that's okay.
tell them about it. Like
great.
send me memes about the Eagles.
Right.
I'm like, thumbs up. So I don't have like a rooting interest, but I would like them to be happy.
Sure, you're a pro. Let's talk about some of the big football things in this game. Line of scrimmage. My question is, and one thing we've been talking about a lot is how will the Chiefs approach trying to block Jalen Carter? Are they going to try to go Trey Smith on him one-on-one? Will the Eagles move Jalen Carter to the other side? Are they going to then maybe single or double team Jalen Carter, but then Milton Williams gets a one-on-one? To me, that's like that's the most fun chess match of that side of the ball.
Yeah, it is, especially since with Joe Thuney playing outside now, it is where they're ostensibly vulnerable, but it happens to be where the Eagles are strongest.
Right, like what if they pull the switcheroo and put
that would
Thuney
be
there,
crazy.
right?
There was a game, I think it was when DJ Humphries came back, where there was a question about whether Thuney would play inside or outside, and nobody really knew until the last second. So there could be maybe some shenanigans, especially if like Jalen Carter would start taking over the game, and they might have to make that adjustment. The Trey Smith matchup, obviously, he's their best. Creed Humphrey's amazing too, pardon me, but he's very, very good.
Sure.
So part of me thinks that they are comfortable singling him up, and as comfortable as anyone is, just because you do want to give Caliendo help. I was just taping a preview pod with Ben Solak, our mutual friend, and I told him that Milton Williams actually ranks 4th amongst every defensive lineman in pass rush win in the playoffs, which is crazy. You know, we got your Chris Joneses and whatnot.
Yes.
So that is not something you're comfortable with either.
It's going to be a big offseason for Milton.
Yeah, he's going to cash in.
I sort of think that side of the ball, it's kind of a narrow spread. Like, I don't think that either side, the Eagles defense or the Chiefs offense, is going to dominate that matchup. And so the variance comes on the other side. Spags is going to throw all kinds of stuff. I think it's possible that the Eagles could run all over the Chiefs. I also think it's possible that they could be completely snuffed out. How do you see it playing out?
I think they'll be able to run on them. The Chiefs over the course of the season had a pretty good run defense, but in the postseason, they've actually been giving up a lot of yards on the ground to significantly inferior. Well, the Bills have a great run game, but the Texans ran on them, which kind of surprised me. And a lot of that was just getting downhill, running away from Chris Jones, running away from Trent McDuffie. But there are vulnerabilities there, on the ground. The Spags aspect of it is, I think, where you get a little bit nervous if you're an Eagles fan. Hurts has been certainly better against the blitz this year, but the way he blitzes is not, it's not just like a man pressure.
Right.
So I think his ability to confuse him, and not just him, the interior of the Eagles offensive line at the line of scrimmage, which you've seen some issues with in the postseason, could be big.
Do you think that this is going to be Spags sort of inviting the Eagles to try to move the ball downfield slowly, not give up the big run, and make them prove it in the red zone, or do you think he's going to go sort of Spags balls?
I think he's going to be pretty aggressive about playing the run. Actually, I think it was Myles Garrett was talking about maybe the possibility of run blitzing.
Just Myles and I were just talking.
Just
he said he wanted to be an
Eagle. A little ball.
Yeah.
I brought that up to him.
Yeah.
I said, what? Because we talked about his trade destinations, and I was like, what about the two teams who are playing? He was like, yeah. Like, he didn't say, that those are, but they're very clearly.
Breaking news. Myles Garrett wants to be an Eagle. Mina Kimes reports.
It makes one thing he did say that is pertinent is, he talked about stylistically. I asked, do you have because, you think Myles Garrett, 4 down front, not a blitz-happy defense. It's not a,
It is also like I think if the Eagles could add any non-quarterback in the league to their team, it would be Myles Garrett, because Josh Sweat's probably going to leave. Brandon Graham's probably going to retire. They're picking 31. If they don't win this game, and it's like, what's the final thing we could do to get over the hump? I mean, that Howie's going to look into it.
That's literally true of every playoff team. It's like,
of course.
I mean, but I would say uniquely, when I look at the Bills, the Lions, the Eagles, they all just need that, right? Like everybody needs a Myles Garrett, no doubt. Yeah, but that is actually specifically what a lot of the postseason contenders need.
I'm going to let you go quickly. Let's just get you a quick Jalen Hurts temperature check. How much does this game move the needle for you in like the way that you think about him?
Well, the way I'll put it is this. Jalen Hurts just played the best game of his entire season. I just watched the Super Bowl, and that was the best game of his career.
For sure.
If he has another great performance, we have to start talking about him as a big game superstar.
Sure.
Because whatever you think about where he stacks over the regular season and you compare him to Mahomes as your Allen Lamar's, none of that matters if he plays his best football in the biggest moments. And that is what he has done as a Philadelphia Eagle. And if he does that again in the Super Bowl, it's such a meaningful part of his football legacy.
And I think that's not just the national conversation. I think that's in the building, the way that they think about Jalen Hurts. I think there are some questions, but you have also seen 2 years ago, he was so much more relaxed during Super Bowl week than we ever see him during the regular season, and he goes out and plays the best game of his life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's causation or correlation, but it's like he does embrace these moments. If that was a real thing, that's maybe how it would manifest.
I agree. And listen, he certainly has the pieces around him to pull it off right now.
All right, Mina Kimes from ESPN, thank you so much for joining us. Much more on PHLY. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bigglesworth. Thank you very much to Mina Kimes. And thanks to Jamie for making it happen.
She was lovely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very, very polite.
Hey, you know what's it's when you are like,
she was getting inundated with stuff too, and like
she's like everyone's favorite person.
Yeah,
everybody wants to bring her on. That's got to be kind of a pain, but she's doing it with a smile on her face. Like that's
I'm envious. That's how I want it to be. I want to walk by here one day and people be like, "You come on, you come on." It's awesome.
Yeah,
these people love your work.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm. I mean, one day I hope I'm coming in here and I'm in demand. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Zach.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
a lot of it's
not after last
pretty quiet over here.
Yeah, I mean, you want to really walk through a place and feel the eyes of the media ogling you. Try being Dan Brugler in Indianapolis.
Right. I mean, that's.
Can I just go? There were a few things. There were a few clarifications I had with yesterday's show. I was not thrilled with that. But that, by the way, I stand by. Like, I answered the question literally because it was your draft. So the question was for Marissa, who worked at the company that employs Dane. So therefore, I was being literal. Your draft person, right?
She did say. She said our.
She said our. Yep. Yeah, our.
She said our favorite.
Or yes.
Yeah,
so,
I understand what you're saying.
So it was her network or her company, number one. But I don't feel that I properly conveyed my sentiment about youth sports. Okay. And I had, And I had to.
No.
And I had to.
Did you get castigated for this?
I didn't get. I had such a nice text from my father-in-law, and it was a beautiful text. And I didn't convey it correctly. Okay.
This is why he doesn't want to share this stuff.
Yeah. I just want to. So there is an expression that I use to my son often, which is that I don't care what you do. I care how you do it, right? And so I'm less – so, like, I typically don't, like, cheer for him if he just – with a dribbler or a home run, right? But to me, it's like, are you being a good teammate? Are you having a good attitude? Are you not, like, whining out there? Things like that. That tends to be, like, what gets me excited, like, because I'm pretty –
Larry Fitzgerald.
Is that what Fitzgerald says?
Well, no, but like the always be gracious and hand the ball over, like, and don't showboat. And
like my pet peeve is always was always like the parents who thought like their kid was like amazing in sports. Because I'm like, look, your day of reckoning is going to come if it's the best. If it's the best, no. I mean, maybe that's not the expression, but no. You know, like the little league dad. No, you know, like the little league dad.
Here comes Zach out to a No, they've gone from Little League to Babe Ruth, and Zach's wielding a sword.
No, I mean like the Little League dad who thinks like his son is amazing. Then he gets to middle school and he's not, or the middle school dad thinks his son, and then he gets and so like you always get you get to a level, but to quote our thing, there's levels to this. But I think how you play endures, and so the conversations I have with my son are less like you did a great job out there playing, but it's more you were cheering on your teammates. You know, you were doing that kind of stuff. So
Sure, but it is also totally fair for the grandparents to just be celebrating Reed for whatever.
yeah, and his sentiment. Again, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here. I can summarize it is that he did not have a son, so he didn't have the opportunity to cheer on.
Oh,
so
that's
it's like,
very sweet.
so it's like it's such like a pleasure.
That's very sweet.
And I respect that. I just don't want.
Julia's
like,
gonna cry.
Yeah. I just don't want like to be motivated by
wonderful.
achievement. I want to be motivated by process, right? So.
Okay.
And I agree. Like there are levels that you want to try and attain to. Like if you have like, let's say that you were writing a book about the Eagles. Like you want to get to like the best Eagles book ever.
Yeah.
The official Eagles Encyclopedia by Ray Didinger. Until you reach that point, you want to make sure you act the right way until you get there.
Okay. if we had on.
Ray's in the Hall of Fame, I believe.
If Mina if you were playing this game with Mina Kimes, and you said our favorite Eagles beat reporter, okay, or she said our favorite Eagles beat reporter, my answer would have been Tim McManus because that's her beat reporter,
Her colleague.
Right? Yeah,
yes.
her colleague. That's why I answered with there is no one who's been championing Fran on the airwaves more than I have since I am vehemently doing
And by the way,
this.
now is a great time to become a diehard. Great deal going on, $36 for 12 months.
We're
Can you
giving
get
it
better than that?
away.
You cannot.
Yes.
If the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, you get a super deal. You get all of Fran Duffy's content. I do imagine, though, however, that your father-in-law, Zach, was actually low-key pretty pleased that you referred to Emily as Emily Rickle.
No, she actually. No, I mean, we don't have to get into this.
I bet he was happy about that.
Little family names?
Yeah.
I told him she should be proud of that. She should be proud of her family. So, absolutely.
All right, fair enough. Let's just not say anything for like 30 seconds so that I can then tell the people that I'm glad that they're watching on Fast, and then we can throw to Joey Porter after that. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Zach?
I'm hungry. Real hungry.
Yeah.
I haven't had lunch since we've gotten.
I haven't had lunch since Sunday.
Yeah, we haven't had lunch
Yes.
since Sunday.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
We've had dinner, and I haven't had breakfast either. So I've been.
I did have breakfast this morning, knowing that this was going to be a long
I had
haul.
it yesterday. I didn't have breakfast this morning. I'm struggling. I am.
It's a tough scene, man.
Yeah. They could do a little better job.
Again,
honest.
we are
Yeah.
extremely
Yes.
fortunate to be here.
Sure. A little grub, some food trucks outside, something, a little effort.
Julia?
She's loopy.
Thanks for watching on Fast. We appreciate that on your televisions. Stay tuned or make sure you go over to allphly.com to check out the rest of the show. With that in mind, we send you now to a very football guy conversation between Fran Duffy. We want to tell us a little about TZTs, Fran Duffy and Joey Porter Jr. talking edge tactics.
Yeah, as we started the conversation, I wanted to go one way, and hearing him talk about his path to greatness as a player, there was a player on the Eagles that it kind of reminded me of, and so we talked through it a little bit. You'll hear it now.
What a pro.
Joined by a man who knows a thing or two about winning the big game, winning the Super Bowl. Former All-Pro, former Super Bowl champion, Joey Porter. Joey, initial thoughts going into this game, Eagles-Chiefs rematch from a couple years ago.
It's going to be a good game. I think both teams now know each other.
Is it playing?
They played each other. It's going to be a good game. You know what I mean? Last time it was the Kelsey brothers was the big storyline. Now it's just Eagles versus Kansas City. And, Eagles didn't win the last one, so it's going to be a good game.
Obviously, you saw Mahomes early on in his career. How much has he grown, and how difficult is he to go up against from a pass rusher standpoint, knowing he doesn't like to take sacks, he hasn't thrown a pick in like 2 months. When you're going up against a guy like that, what goes through your mind as a pass rusher?
Well, know that he's a runner.
Yeah.
Like he's so good of a passer. I think we underestimate how good he is when he decides to keep the ball. And I think the further they go in the playoffs, he keeps the ball more than normal because, like, he ain't going to turn over the ball. He's not trying to turn over the ball, so he'll take and run. He'll run for that third to get that first down. You got to think, it's tough because he can pass it, but when they get to the Super Bowl, just pay attention to how many times he keeps the ball to keep these first downs alive.
Well, the Eagles know that well. He had that huge run towards the end of that game 2 years ago. As a pass rusher, is that discipline and technique? Are there schematic things that you try and do to try and keep him contained? What goes into that?
It's sticking to the word of the game plan. The game plan is for us to keep him in front of him. Can't nobody being selfish and lose their rushing lane. I'm not going to give him the edge. Like, I'm still going to rush hard, take the edges, but I'm going to need my two middle guys to push the pocket. I'm going to make him find the gap that he's. So when I say find it, the pass rush is coming so good, you got to find out where it's at. But if the outside guys take inside moves, then obviously he's going to step outside. If the inside guys jump outside their gap, he just goes step forward. You can't give him the obvious. You got to rush him the regular way and make, like, don't give him nothing egregious. And when I say that is, if you give him a soft corner, the inside comes, the outside guys take the inside move and don't tell the other guy to cover him, man, he's going to run, he's going to take that.
Yeah.
It's just going to be easy.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs, they've got another defensive player on that side, Chris Jones, who has been such a magnet in terms of drawing protection. The last time these two teams played, the Eagles slid his way a number of times. What does that mean for everybody else along the line when you know, hey, you know what, they're going to try and double Chris Jones. We've got to make sure we win our one-on-ones.
Well, you want to win your one-on-ones. If you're a pass rusher, you're happy to have somebody like Chris Jones that's going to take a double.
Yeah.
Because you're giving me one-on-one, and if I have the one-on-one for 65 snaps, man, it's my job to get home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys, ain't nobody sneaking to the Super Bowl. Everybody's playing in this game, been doing some stuff that's what's got them here. Don't change that now. You're here, play even harder than what you did, and it's going to work out.
I've talked with rushers in the past who will say, like, you know what, if I know I've got a move that's going to beat this guy, I feel really good about it. Do you save that for, like, a critical moment? Are you trying to set things up as the game goes on?
I'm setting up my pass rush from the first play.
Yeah.
First place, I'm just going to hit you with speed. We're going to warm them feet up. I'm going to see how far you go jump out, like, because we're going to be in the track meet. I'm gonna beat you with speed around the corner. Even if I don't beat you, I'm going to see how far I got you jumping out. And then everything I do works off that.
Yeah.
Because the speed got you opening it up, I'm going to come back and take the inside. And then once I take the inside, now you don't know if I'm going inside or speed. So now I get you to the point where I can come off the ball and work my stutter. Now, when I stutter, you're shimmying with me because you don't know if I'm going inside or outside. Right?
Sure.
So me, I'm setting up the pass rush the whole game. I'm going to pick and choose my spots when I want to use certain moves. But it's a game, like, if I start off, like, when I go back to me saying I'm starting off with speed, the whole reason why I'm starting off speed is to get you to kick back as much as you can. So if I'm coming off the ball with speed and I'm beating you off the ball with speed, and by the time you're getting to me, it's on your third kick.
Right.
Guard right here, right? One kick, two kick. Look how much space is in there.
Sure. A lot of space.
I don't need all that space, but I done opened you up. I done got you to open that gate, so I'm going to take that space. And once I take that once, now you don't know where I'm going.
Nolan Smith is a guy in his second year who's taken a huge jump, and he's a guy that has that ability. We've seen him over the course of the season. He can win with speed. Everyone knew that he had that in his bag, but he shows that power, that ability to win low side as well. When you've got a guy, when did the light turn on for you? I mean, it was year two. Year one was basically a red shirt for him last year, and he's had like 8 sacks down the stretch in the second half. When did that light turn on for you as a rusher in the NFL, and what was it that allowed that light to turn on for you that way?
Well, it's turned on for me my second year because I actually had more reps.
Yeah.
I never started no games my rookie year, but I got the second half of the week 16. I got to play the whole second half.
Okay.
So that was the most snaps I got in a handful of size. So I had like 25, 30 reps myself. Did what I did after that, took the starting spot. So my second year into the league, my confidence is growing now because I'm running with the ones, I'm getting the reps. That means I'm going against our best guy all the times. I'm building my confidence because I'm going against Wayne Gandy. He's our highest paid tackle. Yep. I'm on the right side outside linebacker, so I go against our best tackle. So, like, if I get Wayne Gandy on a couple of practices, I got the confidence because I know how good Wayne Gandy is. So it's reps, man. The reps is going to make you feel good about what you're doing. Because if you're not getting no reps, you don't know if none of this shit works.
Yeah. Honestly, as you're listening to you talk about it, it's very similar to Nolan. You know, Nolan had the vet on the other side. You had Jason Gilden. You know, he has Josh Sweat. Last year, basically that redshirt year, came on in year 2. So, I mean, look, this is going to be a huge opportunity for him. The last question I've got for you, you were a guy that came up with big plays in big games. Is there something to that? Like, do you think some guys just have that ability when the lights are brightest to just be able to turn that up?
It's the thing that you have inside of you already that you visualize yourself making these plays. I always thought it was going to be me on the third down. Like, I feel like I'm our best pass rusher. Who else am I counting home to get home on third and that? It's 3rd and 11. Yep. I think the team is hoping that it's going to be me. So when we're playing now, I know what's going to go through TJ mind. Yeah. It's going to be him. I know what's going through Highsmith mind. It's going to be him. Yeah. Like, if you don't think it's going to be you, it ain't going to never be you anyway. But I come in knowing I'm our best pass rusher. Who else am I thinking is going to win this game?
So like, it's a mindset.
Man, I feel like the team is counting on me. Yeah. It's 3rd and 13. This is Joey's turn. Right. The same night when we get to 3rd and 13 with TJ. You're like, TJ about to shut the door. Right. Him or Highsmith, it's the same thing. Like, you're not looking for your nose tackle to be that guy, right? Yep. You're looking for your best pass rusher to show up in all pass situations. Mind you, they're down by 7. It's 2-minute drills, all pass. Yep. Right. I'm looking for the guy that I pay $150 million. Show up now. It's your turn. Yeah. Right. Like, I'm the best pass rusher. This is pass rusher time. I have to show up.
And you were a guy that also like earned that right to rush the passer, right, with what you did on early downs.
Oh man, yeah. So like, I don't think you put the blame on nobody else. You put the responsibility on the guys that you pay for that situation. The quarterback, when you need the 2-minute drill to go down and score a touchdown, this is why you pay him $250 million to complete these passes. Ain't no different when it's the defense trying to shut the game out and they're passing. This is why you have good pass rushers. This is their turn. All the plays they make on 1st and 2nd down is good. What do you do when we need a sack?
Last question for you. Obviously, your son is playing with the Steelers right now. Has gone up against both of these offenses. You're going up against a team with the Eagles where it's run first. They're going to be smash mouth, and they've got that ability to beat you on the outside. Kansas City, they're a little bit different in terms of how they want to try and attack you. What's your flavor? You personally, you're Joey Porter. Looking at the way that both these offenses try to attack you, which one do you lean towards?
I'm come from old school to run the football with some good passing. So like the scheme that Philly has, I know that scheme, right? Yeah. We had Jerome Bettis. We ran the ball. We played good defense. That was our formula. Yep. I'm always leaning on the formula that I won with. Now Kansas City done won 3 and played in 4, so they have their formula. Yeah. Like who's going to say their formula don't work?
Sure, that's right.
I just never had a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. So what they have over there for them is what they have.
Yeah.
And it's proven it works. So it's like a fighter. Do you like the way they run the ball, or do you like the way they pass the ball? Because one do it better than the other one. Kansas City don't run the ball like they do. Yep. Philly don't pass it the way Kansas City do.
Styles make fights.
That's why this is going to be a good fight.
Who do you like to win?
Man, I'm born in Kansas City and I live in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? I don't have a dog in the fight, but I got some coaches that I'm rooting for to hope they get theirs. Yep. I keep that to myself because I don't have a dog in the fight. And ain't no reason for somebody to be mad at me.
That's right. Well, Joey, appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Now, the audio listeners need to know, after listening to that great interview with Joey Porter Jr., that the commenters going absolutely berserk over Fran Duffy looking swole.
It's all seafood and barbecue from the last 2 weeks.
Fran hit me with the barbecue pick last week, and I was very jealous. So. I did request a pick. It was kind of like food porn, like send it to me.
Yeah.
And made a move.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
Okay, well, I think you're looking good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Zach, any final thoughts?
Enjoyed the show and looking forward to a better day tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last time this season. We'll have, interviews during, other than post game. Actually, there's cleanout day, but these 2 days of the Super Bowl are my favorite days. So eager to talk to the players tomorrow. Eager to talk to some of the assistant coaches tomorrow. And we're getting closer and closer to game time.
Anything else on PHLY.com?
Yeah, so Les Bowen has a quick thing up from Stoutland that he spoke to Stout. He'll have another piece on Carson Wentz. I have something on Howie Roseman that will drop either tonight or tomorrow morning. I need to get that off my plate. Then I have another feature I've been working on, and at this point, the game's getting close. I can't promise you 3 more stories. I was hoping a story a day here, but we will.
You also need to get some sleep.
Yeah. Not a great night for you.
Yeah.
Worse than the previous nights for the listeners following along.
Yeah.
To the point where you showed it to Julia and she said, was that your REM sleep? And he said, no, that was all of the sleep.
Yeah. But that was also me rolling over in bed. Like I didn't sleep continuously. So, but we don't. I want to cut back on me talking about my sleep habits on the show. I think it's like, I think there's a little fatigue about my fatigue. Okay.
I actually think that we have several doctors who have been listening and chiming in and saying, listen to me, trying to shake your shoulders like we got to fix this.
I get it. I'm with you guys. I'm with you. I get it. I'm really trying to get these stories out.
I will have my Chiefs notes ready to go. I'm hoping to finish them up tonight after we get some dinner, and we'll have that.
We're going to talk a little more. We're going to talk a little bit more about the nuts and bolts of the matchup on tomorrow's show. We will also have the conclusion to Super Sorecasting on tomorrow's show at 1 o'clock. But as a little bit of a tease, is there? I know everything is overanalyzed about this matchup.
Yeah.
But is there one little thing that you feel like is not getting quite enough attention?
I mean, to me, the most important one is the Spags pressure schemes going up against Jalen Hurts. And it's the things that we've talked about for a number of these matchups and all the playoff matchups. It's like we feel comfortable about the Eagles' ability to run the football. We feel comfortable about this defense. The biggest cause of concern would be what happens if the pass game does not perform up to expectation. But we've been saying that for 2 months, and they continue to excel and to put W's on the scoreboard. And so but to me, they got to do it one more game. And going up against Spags and this playoff game plan, a postseason game plan from Steve Spagnuolo, is as big of a test as you're going to come across.
And then, go ahead.
No, you can ask him now. I was just going to give you one thing after that.
I was not going to ask him anything. I was going to ask Jamie something, so you go ahead.
Okay, so this just came out from Ian Rappaport that the Rams are retaining pass game specialist Nate Scheelhaas, or Scheelhaas. What's the pronunciation?
Could be any of them.
Okay.
He said it's Scheelhaas.
Scheelhaas.
Scheel would know.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I'm saying Scheel would know because he would have that pronunciation.
That's why I think that's why he said it, because it's Scheel. Yeah.
So Nate Scheelhaas, despite interest from the Jags and being their new OC, so you wonder if he's bypassing OC jobs together. And I bring that up because the Eagles interviewed him last cycle, and he would, if you're looking for an external candidate after the postseason, he would be like the external candidate that's currently employed. He'd be the external promotion candidate. But if he's passing on the Jags job, although Jags job isn't coming with play calling, so that might be a distinction. We'll see. This is going to be interesting.
That's a good nugget to end.
Jamie, you wanted to, before we left, touch on bidets.
Yeah, I heard your comment the other day on the show, and somebody in the chat mentioned the porta potty having a bidet, and I think 2025 is a year of promoting men's health, women's health, self-health. Everybody should own a bidet. They're like $40, and they're life-changing, and they're amazing, and it's good butt health, and I am as pro-bidet as a man could be.
How about this?
We're going to get ourselves a bidet sponsor.
We do.
How about this? Because
if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, maybe I'll just buy you all bidets.
Well, no, because I'm interested in self-improvement, and also because I think this is a topic we've exhausted on the show. I will purchase a bidet, and I will get one. It's $40. I thought bidets are like $500.
No.
Well, if you want the warm water fancy ones, then you have to like upgrade to that pay range. But like, there's like $35 to $50 ones on Amazon.
This is interesting because I was wondering how on earth it was that you made such a 180 on this.
$40.
And it was the $40.
I heard that. I thought bidets.
I mean, it is technology, Zach.
Yeah, that's it. He said if there's something that's $40 you say is going to change my life, then I will spend like $40 life changing. I'm in. Okay, I thought I'm looking at $500. Get the plumber to come.
Oh no,
like,
self-install.
Yeah. So I thought I was going to have to change the whole routing of the water.
No,
my
just
water,
a little splitter, one to the bidet, one to the tank, easy peasy.
So now my water bill's going up.
No.
Yeah.
Shower fresh feeling every time. It's amazing. Everybody should get one.
I am not getting a bidet.
Why, because you just looked up the price?
I have someone watching back home.
You can barely see them. They're great.
That's perfect. That's a great way to end this
I
episode.
miss my bidet. Well, I've been on the road a lot the last 2 weeks.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. The second episode of this day, this bidet. Thank you to Mina Kimes. Thank you to Joey Porter Jr. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Julia, who is just
So
absolutely crushing it this week.
Yes.
Thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Fran.
And thank you to Cam Durgan.
Thank you to
Sending over
Zach.
some, we got a little snacky snack
Yeah.
there, Bo.
And thank you to the Boardwalks
Yeah.
of past lives and all that good stuff. And stay tuned because tomorrow we've got even more coming your way. Another 2 shows, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Social content, YouTube content, out the wazoo. Should be a lot of fun. So, thanks everybody for watching, listening. We will talk to you tomorrow. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.